Howdy everybody. We're going to do some story time today. Everybody loves story time, so I figured I would get into it with y'all. Okay, so I'm standing here. True's over there. You probably can't see her on screen, but I got Shakespeare here and Wyatt right there. So today's story is actually going to be about Shakespeare. We were in the round pen one day, and the round pen is basically just a big, not that big actually. It's a pen that we create out of these panels here, and you know, in a round shape. So it's used for training. So anyway, we had ordered in a bunch of screenings to fill the round pen, and we put them in, and that's basically just crushed up, you know, I don't know, concrete or whatever. I don't really know. But anyway, you get the point. So I had a manure fork with me that day in the round pen. It was just Shakespeare and myself in there. And we were, I was using the manure rake to clean up stones, like rocks that were a little bit too big. So for instance, some of these got mixed into the screenings that we had, and we don't like horses to step on those, especially when they're like out of trot or they're cantering around the round pen, because it can cause lameness. Like if they're moving quickly and their hoof smacks down on that uneven rock or maybe a pointy rock, you can really bruise the bottom of their hoof. So I was basically just going through, and I had the manure fork and I was picking them up. Don't do it. Come on. Wyatt wants to knock the camera over as usual. Anyway, I'm in the pen, right? And I'm scooping up these stones, and I'm sifting the thing, and I got them all, and I toss them back into the driveway there. So he was in there with me, okay? And this was a long time ago, and he was following me around whole time. And I kind of wasn't paying that much attention to him because, I was focusing on the rocks and what we were doing and cleaning up and all that stuff. And I could hear him behind me, but I wasn't, my attention wasn't really on him. So anyway, after that, I was in there about, 20 minutes doing it or something. He's following me the whole entire time. Next thing I know, I hear him, he kind of disappeared. He wasn't following me. I couldn't hear his footfalls anymore. And the round pen's not that large, it's like 60 feet across, 60 feet. So I thought, well, that's a little odd. I wonder, I figured he just got bored following me around, picking up rocks. So then I turn around and I see him, and there was an extra manure rake in the round pen, and it was leaned up against the wall there, or the gate. And I see him, and he has bit the middle of the manure rake, so your handle's about yay long, then you've got your head of it. Well, he bit the middle of it, and he's walking all around the round pen carrying this manure rake. And of course I had mine in my hand because I'm scooping. So he starts walking around with this thing in his mouth, just swinging it all over the place. And I busted out laughing because it was like, he stood there and he watched me, raking these rocks up. And then he went over, picked up the rake, and started walking around the arena as if to say, hey, I'm going to help you, or, I'm going to do this too, or I can do this too. And I cracked up laughing. It was hysterical. And then he, of course, he started laughing because whenever Shakespeare nods a certain way, I know that he's laughing. He's got a great sense of humor, and I'm telling y'all, he actually does laugh. He's laughed at me many times. So that was a super fun story with him. Another time he laughed at me was we were up in the barn, and I was actually trimming him. I had the electric clippers, and I was trimming him, and I had trimmed his bridle path up here, so I had to kind of shave that area right there. And then I was trimming around different, various areas on his body. And he had stood there and he had taken it very well for quite some time. Well, then he got a little annoyed with me, and I think he was done. And so he started telling me that he was done. How he does that is he starts throwing his head around in a circle, not up and down. And so I said, okay, I know you're wanting to go, but we're not quite done here yet. And so he kept throwing his head, and kind of really yelling at me. And I kind of got a little, I said, now listen, I pay your bills, and if I need you to stand here, then you're just going to stand here, and you can stand here 5 more minutes. It's not going to kill you. So what does he do? He looks at me, okay? He looks at the electric clippers in my hand, which are plugged into the wall. And I swear to you, he got this look in his face like, oh yeah? And he reached over, he bit the electric cord very gently, bit the electric cord and popped it right out of the wall. And my clippers turned off. And then he took the clippers and he took the cord and he threw them at me, and they hit me in the cord hit me in the chest. And then he started nodding and cracking up. He was nodding up and down like he was laughing at me. And I mean, I have to say that, first of all, I had to take my jaw up off the floor because I was so shocked. But secondly, I really had to laugh with him because it was hysterical. I mean, and that he was that smart. And, you know, he knew not to bite that hard because there was electricity running through that cord. And he didn't bite it that hard. He put his mouth on it enough to where he could pop it out of the wall. And then to turn around and throw it at me. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like, if I hadn't seen that with my own eyes, I don't even think I would have believed it. So, yeah, this guy is quite the character. He is wicked smart. And, you know, he's always got fun stories and, quite the personality, don't you, my boy? So, anyway, those are just 2 Shakespeare stories for today. And, I'll leave you all with that. But if you like those stories and you think somebody else might like them, please like, comment, share, bookmark, do all that good stuff that they ask you to do, because without you guys sharing, we kind of, you know, it doesn't get as much traction. So that's super helpful. And as always, appreciate you. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. All right, take care.